The air in Abidjan, usually thick with the scent of commerce, was now laden with an uneasy tension. The vibrant city, known for its bustling markets and lively streets, felt different. The usual hum of daily life was overshadowed by an undercurrent of fear and uncertainty. In mid-May, 2025, whispers began to circulate, not of market fortunes or business deals, but of something far more sinister. The word on the street was that a military coup d'état was imminent. People exchanged worried glances and hushed conversations filled the air. The sight of soldiers patrolling the streets and military vehicles moving through urban areas only fueled the rumors. The presence of the military, usually a symbol of protection, now seemed ominous and threatening. Rumors of soldiers in the streets and a government potentially overthrown spread insidiously. The tension was palpable, and the air was thick with anxiety. People gathered in small groups discussing the latest updates and speculating about what might happen next. Ordinary Ivorians found themselves questioning the stability of their nation. The news on their phones and televisions only added to the confusion and fear. Families huddled together, watching the news with worried faces, hoping for some clarity. The initial public reaction was a mixture of fear, disbelief, and déjà vu. For many, it brought back memories of past conflicts and the uncertainty that came with them. The fear of history repeating itself was very real. For a country scarred by the post-election conflict of 2010 to 2011, the mere suggestion of another coup stirred profound anxieties. The memories of that turbulent time were still fresh in the minds of many Ivorians. The mere suggestion of another coup stirred profound anxieties. The fear of returning to a state of chaos and violence was overwhelming. People were on edge, and the tension was almost tangible. Social media platforms became alive with urgent queries and unverified information. The digital sphere was buzzing with activity as people sought answers and shared their fears. The speed at which information spread was both a blessing and a curse. Was the peace they had rebuilt under threat? This question lingered in the minds of many. The progress made over the years seemed fragile in the face of this new threat. Conversations in cafes and public places were dominated by this looming uncertainty. These questions cast a pall over the vibrant life of Ivory Coast's economic heart. The usually bustling streets of Abidjan were eerily quiet. The fear of the unknown had a paralyzing effect on the city. The speed of these rumors highlighted the underlying anxieties simmering in Ivorian society. The rapid spread of information, both true and false, revealed the deep-seated fears that many Ivorians harbored. The upcoming presidential elections in October 2025 were already a subject of intense discussion. The political climate was charged, and the Coup Scare only added fuel to the fire. People were deeply concerned about the future of their country. The Coup Scare fed on existing worries, questioning presidential term limits, and the memory of how quickly stability could unravel. The political landscape was fraught with tension, and the fear of instability was ever present. The memory of how quickly stability could unravel was a haunting reminder of the fragility of peace. The debates and discussions were intense, with people passionately expressing their concerns and fears. As May 22nd and 23rd unfolded, the digital sphere became the main arena for this drama. People were glued to their phones, constantly checking for updates and sharing information. The tension was palpable, and the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. The digital sphere became the main arena for this drama. Social media was flooded with posts, comments, and speculations. The rapid exchange of information created a sense of urgency and heightened the overall tension. The nation held its breath, waiting for clarity, waiting for a sign that the foundations were still firm. Families gathered around their televisions and radios, hoping for some definitive news that would put their fears to rest. The nation held its breath, waiting for clarity, waiting for a sign that the foundations were still firm. The calm aftermath brought a sense of relief, but the underlying anxieties remained. The fear of instability was a reminder of the fragility of peace. The false claims circulating in May 2025 were designed to cause maximum panic. The disinformation campaign was meticulously planned, targeting the very core of societal trust and stability. Among the most shocking was the rumor that President Alassane Ouattara had been killed or was missing. This rumor spread like wildfire, igniting fear and uncertainty among the populace. Such news, even as a rumor, strikes at the heart of a nation's stability. The psychological impact was immediate, with people questioning the safety and future of their country. Whispers suggested that Lassina Doumbia, the chief of army staff, had also met his demise. This added another layer of fear, as the military is often seen as a stabilizing force in times of crisis. Reports of widespread internet disruptions heightened the sense of isolation and fear. Videos began to circulate, purporting to show scenes of chaos. These videos, often doctored or taken out of context, further fueled the panic. The sophistication of this disinformation campaign lay in its multifaceted approach. It wasn't just about spreading one falsehood, but creating a web of lies that ensnared the public. It wasn't just one rumor, but a barrage, creating an atmosphere where it became difficult to distinguish fact from fiction. The constant influx of conflicting information left people in a state of perpetual confusion. Some social media posts, notably in English, broadened the reach of the panic beyond Francophone Africa. This was a calculated move to ensure the disinformation had a global impact. The cumulative effect was one of a nation teetering on the edge. The streets, usually bustling with life, were eerily quiet as people stayed indoors, gripped by fear. Subsequent investigations revealed these were carefully crafted falsehoods, designed to exploit existing tensions. The perpetrators knew exactly which societal fault lines to target. The battle, for a time, was one of perception. The reality, however, was starkly different. Relative calm prevailed on the streets of Abidjan. Despite the chaos online, life continued with a semblance of normalcy in the real world. The Ivorian government understood the urgent need for a clear and visible response. On May 23, 2025, Ivory Coast's National Agency for Information Systems Security, ANSSI, officially denied the coup rumors. They labeled the episode a coordinated disinformation campaign. President Alassane Ouattara himself became the most visible refutation of the rumors. On May 22, he was photographed presiding over a Council of Ministers meeting. The Ivorian presidency promptly released these images and a statement confirming his activities. This was a direct and powerful counter-narrative. The following day, President Ouattara made another public appearance, further dispelling doubts. These appearances were strategic and necessary, reassuring the Ivorian people. Ivorian journalists also played a vital role in debunking the coup reports. This collaborative effort gradually calmed the public mood and restored a sense of normalcy. The May 2025 Coup Scare highlighted the immense power of social media in shaping public perception. In an era where information travels at the speed of light, social media platforms have become both a blessing and a curse. They offer a space for free expression and instant communication, but they also serve as breeding grounds for misinformation and panic. Platforms like X and Facebook became the primary conduits for the rapid dissemination of false rumors. These platforms, designed to maximize engagement, often prioritize sensational content over verified information, making them fertile ground for the spread of falsehoods. Within hours, claims of a military takeover reached thousands, if not millions, of users. The speed at which these rumors spread was unprecedented, creating a sense of urgency and fear among the populace. People were glued to their screens, anxiously refreshing their feeds for updates. The architecture of these platforms facilitates the spread of misinformation. Algorithms designed to keep users engaged often amplify sensational and emotionally charged content regardless of its veracity. This creates an echo chamber where false information can thrive. Unverified posts, often with dramatic videos or images, can gain enormous traction. These posts are shared and reshared, liked and commented on, creating a snowball effect that can be hard to stop. The more dramatic the content, the more likely it is to go viral. In the Ivorian case, videos showing burning buildings and agitated crowds stoked fear. These images, often taken out of context or manipulated, painted a picture of chaos and unrest, further fueling the panic. The anonymity offered by social media accounts complicates tracing the origin of disinformation campaigns. Anonymous profiles can spread false information without fear of repercussions, making it difficult for authorities to hold anyone accountable. Posts appeared in multiple languages, suggesting a deliberate effort to reach an international audience. This multilingual approach ensured that the misinformation spread far and wide, crossing borders and affecting people globally. The incident underscored the need for greater media literacy, robust fact-checking, and quicker communication from governments. Educating the public on how to discern credible sources from unreliable ones is crucial in combating the spread of misinformation. Bridging the gap between the speed of a lie and the speed of truth remains a significant challenge. As misinformation can spread like wildfire, the efforts to counteract it must be equally swift and effective. The battle between falsehood and truth is ongoing, and the stakes have never been higher. The fabricated coup rumors ignited amidst significant political tension in Ivory Coast. The primary focal point is the fast-approaching presidential election in October 2025. Speculation surrounds President Alassane Ouattara and a potential bid for a fourth presidential term. Critics argue that such a move would undermine constitutional norms and democratic principles. Supporters point to his role in bringing economic stability and development. The history of election-related violence casts a long shadow over the current political climate. The fear that political disagreements could escalate into something more dangerous is palpable. The May 2025 coup rumors amplified existing anxieties. The exclusion of prominent opposition figures adds complexity to Ivory Coast's pre-election landscape. Tidjane Thiam, a significant opposition politician, was barred from running for office. Thiam and his supporters argue that the application of the law is inconsistent and politically motivated. Former President Laurent Gbagbo has also been barred from contesting the presidency. The exclusion of such established political actors shapes the political contest. This situation contributes to broader political tension and accusations of political maneuvering. The field of potential challengers to Ouattara narrows considerably. The anxiety surrounding the false coup rumors cannot be fully understood without considering the broader regional context. The past few years have witnessed political instability across several nations in the Sahel. Successful military takeovers have created an atmosphere of heightened vigilance. Countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Guinea have all experienced military coups. Each successful coup emboldens those with similar ambitions elsewhere. This regional pattern of instability means that coup rumors are becoming increasingly common. For Ivory Coast, the specter of regional instability is a constant reminder of how quickly fortunes can change. The challenge is to insulate themselves from this contagion of instability. The tense regional atmosphere was compounded by accusations from Burkina Faso. In April 2025, Burkina Faso's military junta claimed to have thwarted a major plot. They alleged that the plot originated from elements within Ivory Coast. Such accusations strained relations between the two countries. Burkina Faso's security minister named two former Burkinabe army officers as key figures in the conspiracy. These repeated claims contribute to a climate of suspicion and mistrust. The timing of these accusations is noteworthy, adding to the complexity of regional politics. The socio-political implications of the May 2025 coup rumors are significant for Ivory Coast. The incident laid bare the anxieties linked to the upcoming elections and regional instability. President Ouattara faces mounting criticism regarding his potential pursuit of a fourth term. There exists sympathy among some youth for the young military leaders in neighboring Sahel countries. President Ouattara's close ties with France can be a point of criticism. The timing of these rumors was sensitive, as Ivory Coast is set to host the African Development Bank's annual meetings. The swift debunking of the coup rumors helped to quickly restore calm. The path ahead requires careful navigation to maintain stability and progress.